pleased to say Mark Moffat, the CEO of IFS, joins us now. So Mark, we'll get into some of your comments on the geopolitics and how AI can be used in that. But first of all, just talk to me about your business. You use AI in industrial sectors. So how are you deploying AI in everything from manufacturing to energy?
Well, we're an AI company first and foremost, and our business is all about supporting the operational environments of some of these industries, whether it be manufacturing, port operations, service-based industries, utilities, natural resources, anything where there's kind of an operational environment that requires kind of technology to improve resilience, to optimize supply chains and production. That's what we do on a global scale.
So given energy is one of the key sectors that you're working with, what impact are you seeing from your Middle East clients in terms of disruptions when it comes to operations or the supply chains?
I mean, clearly this is a particular moment in time for that region, and there is an element of disruption, and we're seeing that with some of our customers. Our job is to make sure that the technology that we provide our customers can help them plan and anticipate and respond in real time to disruption. A great example would be over the weekend, one of our customers, the port of Dakum, which is one of the mega ports in the region, was obviously struck as part of the conflict, and again yesterday. And we were able to support that business by getting their operations back up into production as early as possible. So that'd be a good practical example of a customer that we're helping right now in this very difficult time.
And what about when it comes to kind of rerouting at the moment? I mean, through the Strait of Hormuz, of course, our previous guest saying that it's not really much you can do. You have to go through it. It's a key choke point. But in terms of kind of helping customers to kind of navigate this or develop the right tools and to ensure that these kinds of things in the future, there's some kind of plan in place.
Yeah. Well, it's a really good example of where operational AI, industrial AI, really comes to the fore. If you've got a different level of intelligence that allows you to look at where your raw materials are, what routes, what logistic opportunities are available to you, so you can think and anticipate and to plan different ways in which to get your product or your capabilities to your end market, then that's where AI can drive real value compared to methods of the past. In the particular case of the Strait of Hormuz, obviously it's a very difficult logistical challenge that clearly needs a different approach. But operational AI, industrial AI, this is where it really makes a massive difference to our customers.
I want to switch gears here and talk about some of the pullback in tech and AI that we've seen more broadly. Has that changed customer behavior at the moment for you? And or do you think that within industrial AI that you're more actually insulated from that?
Well, we're not really seeing a pullback. I mean, all of our customers are demanding more from AI and to understand how AI can impact their businesses positively. I mean, clearly the pullback is from a capital equity market perspective, but in terms of real demand that we're seeing in the hands of the customers, literally we can't keep up. I mean, boards and executive teams more than ever need to demonstrate how they're innovating, how they're adapting their business models to really benefit from this massive once-in-a-generation cycle of innovation. So we're just getting massive demand.
So do you think there's a difference then between what you're seeing in industrial AI and generative AI, which has of course been dominating some of the headlines?
Yeah, generative AI, I mean, the way I think about it often is it's about large language models. It's about the natural English language. And if you look at the nature of the operations that we support, whether it be optimizing inventory, whether it be optimizing supply chains, whether it be about field technicians, these are really deep operational processes. They need a different level of AI capability. We only develop AI that we know is going to have a huge return of investment in the hands of customers that deploy. So there is a difference between generative and industrial AI as we've described it.
And you just mentioned return on investment there. So what measurable returns on industrial companies are actually seeing from the AI adoption?
Well, I think the first thing, Ritika, you need to get very specific about what the challenges are in your operation and where the trapped opportunities are in the hands of our customers. A great example would be a customer in the US, Kodiak Gas. Kodiak Gas, we deployed an AI capability to help them with materials handling, so that they're automatically optimizing how they put materials into their supply chain and into their production processes. One agent deployed into that environment saved 90,000 hours in an annual cycle. So that's a very clear example of where we see ROI. Our whole approach is about making sure from the outset we know what ROI we're targeting, and we're only developing AI capability that can service that.
And what about European strength? Because there's been a lot of talk that Europe actually could outperform when it comes to industrial AI, where maybe it's missed the mark with generative AI and the like. So do you agree with that, and can you explain more to that?
Well, I think there's a big opportunity, particularly for Europe, in the case of the next evolution of the AI investment cycle, which I think is more about world models. I talked a little bit about language models, and that's obviously been phenomenal innovation. It's driving huge value in society more broadly and into the business world. But the concept of world models, so taking that predictive, that generative, that transformer-based technology and applying it to real operational environments will be what makes a massive difference in the customers that we serve. A great example of a new startup lab is Amy with Yann LeCun in Paris. We're in early stage conversations about them from a partnership standpoint. World models are where it's going to be at next.
And we mentioned in the intro that you believe that AI is not going to take jobs off the table. It's actually going to create more jobs. Just wanted to get your take on that.
Every customer that I deal with that deploy AI, when they release capacity, they put that capacity elsewhere in their business because they can't keep up with demand. And every customer, every industry that I deal with, have got skill shortages, they've got shortages to be able to keep up with the demand that they're seeing as a business. So I'm just seeing net employment opportunity. And if I reflect on previous general purpose technology shifts, the internet being one of the most recent, there was like 50 to 60 million new jobs that were created. And I'm a real optimist. And I think that there's new business models, there's new capabilities that will drive higher levels of employment we've ever seen before in the medium term.
And we talked about, how your company is helping clients navigate the geopolitics and the volatility that we're seeing there. The other key story has been tariffs, of course, and we've seen a lot of the back and forth with the Supreme Court now striking those down, and President Trump in response putting a flat rate tax on. Talk to me about how you can use AI within that sphere.
I think the way I look at tariffs, like any other macroeconomic trend, is that how do we help our customers respond to that? And in the case of tariffs, that's all about optimizing global supply chains. It's about optimizing global production in the hands of our multinational customers, and how can we help them deal with that as the latest potential setback in their operation. But that's no different from other supply chain issues that we've seen in the past, or when there's regional conflict, as we're seeing in a couple of regions of the world right now. We're there for the long term to support our customers in these moments of disruption. And that's very much what IFS was built to do.
All right, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you so much to Mark Moffat, the CEO of IFS.